my wife's name out your mouth!
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nurse New Bully, me host Leroy, aka Keep the Change, You Filthy Animal, with my co-host.
This is Eli, aka the Salty Pretzel.
There you go. We're back with another episode. And Eli, I know we saw some foosball today. I know your team lost. Did you jump on the bandwagon of another team? And
I did not. I haven't watched football. No, I didn't watch any of the games today.
damn, I was hoping you would lead into it so we could have something that people would care about.
That's how much I care about it.
But the rest of the world cares. We're supposed to care some kind of way because I don't care. Oh well, sorry y'all. If y'all can't listen to football, we got nothing for you. So yeah. But if you want to hear some comics, we're here for you. Everybody clicks off right now, but yeah. All right, but before we go into it, we do want to pay some respects on some news that happened like right before we was about to record. So we had some passings that happened in 2023, and we do want to acknowledge them. And for me, they came out of nowhere. First thing I want to acknowledge is Annie Wersching. I want to say rest in peace to her. Now I know a lot of people like, who? Here's the thing about Annie Wersching. You may not know her name, but when you see her in something, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's that person that played in that thing. That's her. Now, the reason I want to talk about her because she played in a bunch of stuff. One of my favorite shows of all time, 24, which we never talk about on here. She was like Jack Bauer's like equal FBI counterpart, gave him shit and stuff like that. So I thought it was pretty cool. What else did she also play in? She was also the board queen,
Really?
I didn't watch not in the new movies. In the Paramount Plus Star Trek.
Oh yeah, okay. All right, yeah. I didn't watch
Picard.
Yeah,
the shit Gomer watches. Yeah.
Never watched any of it.
Gomer knows it. Ex Gomer, he'll know what that is. Like that. I didn't watch the show, I didn't know it, but I thought it was pretty cool. I don't have a picture right now, but she was also in Runaways. So she was one of the she was. Well, you didn't watch it, I watched it. Did you read the comic?
Nope.
Damn. Okay. I'm gonna let you slide because you read way more Brian K. Vaughan than I did. So I'm gonna let you slide on that. How you doing tonight? Jake, we
Jake's
are
in the
good.
house. What's up?
We didn't watch football, so we're the only people in America that are not upset because our team didn't win, But how are you doing, Jake? That's the real question, But yeah, she played in Runaways. She was one of the evil. That's the thing. She pretty much just played evil moms. That's all she ever played.
Evil mom.
Because she was redhead, hot. So yeah, she's an evil mom. That's all she played and stuff like that. And she also played in. Now, if I'd have said this 2 weeks ago, nobody know what I was talking about. But now people would know what I'm talking about. She was also the voice actress and motion cap actress of Tess in The Last of Us, the original Tess. Yeah. So, like I said, if I said it 2 weeks ago, nobody would know what I said. But everybody last week talked about how powerful and emotional that scene was with Tess in The Last of Us. Guess what? That scene was line for line, scene for scene, just like the video game which she played in. So, yeah. So that's the thing. So pretty much she had her hands in all kind of sci-fi shit. If it was something, she was in it. So that's what I want to say. Rest in peace to her.
Yeah, I feel shitty because I didn't watch any of this stuff.
See, my childhood, Eli.
Never watched 24. Sorry, I didn't watch that.
I was so into 24. My ex gave me a copy of 24, for my birthday one time. So oh yeah. So and second one we're going to talk about rest in peace to Lisa Loring. So another icon. Oh, cool. Once again, people be like, who? But let me break it down. So Lisa Loring, I'm trying to see if I got a picture of her, is the original Wednesday Addams.
Oh, no shit.
So she passed today. I thought she was already passed. I didn't know she was still alive, but apparently passed today. So yeah. long line of original Wednesday Addams. Now, like I said, the Addams family didn't originate from the TV show. They originated from a New Yorker's cartoon, which nobody was named on there.
It was a comic. It was a comic.
Well, okay. I think we got to name the difference. Okay, it wasn't a comic. It was a cartoon. There's a difference. I'm gonna explain the difference between a comic and a cartoon.
Is it one panel?
One panel, exactly. So if it's one panel, it's a cartoon. But a comic is a cartoon that has multiple pages that has sequential storytelling. So that's the difference between a cartoon and a comic. So just letting everybody know about this. It's very bullshit. No one, just extra knowledge no one cared about. I just want to just put that out there. But anyway, they weren't named on there. They all got their names on the TV show. So she was the original OG Wednesday Addams on the show. And of course, she was also preceded by, Christina Ricci, and also the new fad, Jenna Ortega, who was the new it girl, everywhere. Like I said, want to give a shout out, of course, Wednesday is like the biggest thing of 2022, mainly because of that TikTok dance that just went nuts and everybody went crazy or stuff like that. But here's the thing. If you really, really watch that video, Jenna Ortega was paying homage to the original Wednesday Addams. So she did the dance first, and she was just copying her, So I thought that was pretty cool when she did this stuff on there. So nice little homage, nice little shout out to her. Let's see. Jenna is big, yeah. She's the it girl. She's it. I felt bad for her date at the Golden Globes because everybody like, dude, get out the way. We just want to talk to her. We don't know you. And he was in a Wednesday show too.
But how old is she? 12?
Yeah, like 20. Too young for me to look at her, but but hey, float your boat, whatever you got out there. So, now, for instance, like Christina Ricci, that's more my speed. So when she was growing up, I was like, oh yeah, but I was close to that age, so that's different, But yeah, Jenna Ortega, no,
And I was still a little too old for that.
That's my speed. So yeah, Rudy Huxtable. I was that's it sounds weird saying it now, but But anyway, just like I say with that. So yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah, good journey to these women. Even though I'm not very not too familiar with them,
Yeah, so
we thank them for their contributions.
Yeah, and now Lisa Lauren actually play in a lot of B movies, 80 horror movies though. I thought you would, and you probably saw her in there.
I didn't even hear about. She might have. I mean, judging from her adult picture, she does look a little familiar.
Yeah, so she might have, she has some roles in this. Another fun fact. I'm going to give you another fun fact out here. Also, I just learned like a couple weeks ago. Okay, so the narrator on the Incredible Hulk's TV show, like the narrator, that was Lurch, the actor that played Lurch in the Addams Family. Yeah, yeah. So just little trivia. That's all. Now, like I said, we're going to move on to the actual meat of the podcast and jump into it. Eli, I'm going to let you start with this, but I think I might finish. I know that sounds weird. Oh, I didn't tell you what we're talking about. Oh, yeah. We're talking about the Oscars. The Oscars the Oscars released their nominations this week. And people are, upset about, as always, people are upset about the snubs that happened. Mm-hmm. They wanted their movie to get in. Everybody was saying, why wasn't my movie nominated? A lot of people are upset.
There's no women directors nominated. Some actress got nominated out of nowhere and didn't nominate, the Women King and all this other shit. And the people are like, what the hell? Why ain't yeah.
And black people said also, but Angela Bassett got nominated, so that's the one thing that stopped us from writing. So, other than that, but yeah.
But of course, horror fans are, have been horror Twitter, as I might say, has been voicing their opinions about their disappointment. That
wait a minute. Before you get started, you're on Twitter.
I kind of, sort of. I check it.
Like you making an announcement or something? Okay.
I'm there for the free porn, sure. And then I find out about other shit,
I'm here for the articles. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, the horror fans have been upset that there wasn't there was no horror movies nominated. Nothing in horror. Fangoria put out like a joke article this week, kind of clickbait. The big headline: all the horror movies, the Oscars, Oscar, whatever. The Oscars, honored all these horror movies, and then it's just a blank art. There's nothing written. You click on it, it's nothing. So yeah, there's been talk that a lot of, especially since 2022 was a big year for horror movies. A lot of horror movies got released. A lot of horror movies got released in the theaters. I think horror movies brought a lot of people back to the theaters. Box office numbers were up. Exactly. Silence of the Lambs is the only horror movie. Well, and then Shape of Water, if you kind of want to sort of, count that as
was like a love story or something. I never seen
it with the monster. Yeah, it's a monster love story. Horror elements, but I wouldn't call it a straight up horror movie. But yeah, Oscars don't really ever honor horror. It's sort of a disrespected genre. So yeah, that's basically what they were saying. They were saying Mia Goth got, she got snubbed. She got robbed. She should have been recognized for her roles in Pearl and X. Barbarian, they thought was another movie that should have been like at least recognized. And of course, they keep bringing up Toni Collette in Hereditary, that she should have been honored, at least nominated for an Oscar because of her performance in Hereditary. Now, I will go on to record that say I thought Hereditary sucked. That's just me. Yeah, I said it. I thought that movie sucked. Fuck Hereditary. That's just me. That's what I think. But did Toni Collette give a good performance? Yeah, So yeah, I mean, but there's my thing. I didn't expect any of these horror movies to be nominated. I remember seeing an article that the makers of Terrifier 2 submitted Terrifier 2 to be for their consideration for your Academy Awards.
Yeah.
and Florence Pugh.
Midsommar didn't come out this year. No, it wasn't Midsommar. You're saying she should have been nominated for Midsommar. I guess.
Okay, sure. That's another movie. I just don't like that dude's movies. That's another movie. Yeah, fuck Midsommar. Yeah, I said it. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, I mean, basically that the Oscars don't give horror respect. And especially with the Mia Goth thing. They're saying Mia Goth played 2 roles in X. She co-wrote the script for Pearl and played the lead in Pearl. And that she should at least be nominated, at least some sort of recognition. Because if there's any of the movies that I feel are on that level of Oscar worthy, of cinematic art, I think Pearl probably fits the bill. And it's layered with all these deeper themes. The cinematography is great. The acting is great. It has all it pokes fun at classical Hollywood movies. It makes references to, Sunset Boulevard and Wizard of Oz. And it's just a sort of a parody of Hollywood. And the underlying theme of those movies is that Hollywood does not respect horror movies. That's what those movies are saying, But did I think they were going to get nominated? No, I had there was no qualms that I had that the Academy Awards are not going to nominate a movie about a porno set massacre.
Right.
There was no way. But yeah, I'm not surprised. But yeah, I do feel horror is a legitimate genre. I mean, we've talked about it on here. I've broken down, the subtext of slasher movies, of Texas Chainsaw, of how Poltergeist is about, how America was built on slavery and genocide. I've talked about the deeper themes, the political and social commentaries, and how deep horror can go. I've said that. I do believe it's a legitimate art form. Horror movies, when done well, have a lot to say. Even the shitty ones, the shitty B movie ones, usually they're poking fun at, there used to be, there was a horror show. Well, Fangoria,
they have a BET Awards too, Jake.
Yeah, so, Fangoria every year has the Chainsaw Awards, and you can vote, and they've been streaming it on Shudder last few years. Everything Shudder was a thing. You can watch the Chainsaw Awards on Shudder. There was that one. Was it the Scream Awards? Remember Spike TV?
Spike, the Man Show, and all those other shows.
Spike. They had was it the Scream Awards? That was like a horror. They celebrated horror and they had a comic book award. on that show too. So yeah, there's Rue Morgue, Bloody Disgusting, all those horror websites. They all have their polls every year. Which is the best? Who do you think? But Fangoria, I believe, is the biggest. You can go to Fangoria and like vote for all, best horror movie, best actor, actress, best script, and all there you'll see Mia Goth and X and Barbarian and what have you, all getting the horror, getting its due recognition from the fans. So yeah, this is nothing new. I mean, yeah, Silence of the Lambs is like the only horror movie that's ever won a Best Picture Oscar, and even that is kind of sort of more of a thriller. It's more of a detective story. It does follow an FBI agent solving these murder cases, so it's not a straight up slasher movie, even though it has slasher movie elements. But I think for horror fans, they hold Silence of the Lambs in high regard because that is the one movie that legitimizes the genre.
It's almost like they don't nominate comedies either, but they nominated Birdman but called it a comedy.
Yeah,
Birdman
or Woody
really
Allen. They'll give Woody Allen a nomination.
Right, like shit ain't funny.
Yeah. Yeah. But I will go on the record and say, fuck Silence of the Lambs. I thought that movie.
Well, damn, man, is anything you don't hate?
It's just pop horror. It's pop horror. You know me. I'm way too metal for some of this shit.
I know, but it's still a good movie. I mean, I get it. Doesn't the tropes? I get that,
I saw Silence of the Lambs in the
okay. Hey, what? Eli, watch it again and don't watch it as a horror movie. That's the thing. You're expecting a horror movie. You're putting it in a box.
Because I saw the Texas shit. I think, he cut off dude's face. Oh, that's not his house, and I didn't even read the books. So no, I think Manhunter, the movie Manhunter, is the best Hannibal Lecter movie.
I agree. That's the one before Silence of the Lamb, right?
Yeah, that's the one that Michael Mann made. The guy who did Miami Vice. That's like the best thing of Hannibal Lecter. That's what I think. Again, I was never a big Silence of the Lambs fan. I didn't really think that was a good. I wasn't into it. It wasn't. I don't know. I'm just too brutal.
Jake, I know we're losing you, but we appreciate you listening.
I mean, hey, if I have a choice between Silence of the Lambs and Deathgasm, I'm watching Deathgasm. I don't give a fuck.
Sometimes you got to be honest.
You know what I'm saying? If I got to choose between Hereditary or Deathgasm, I'm choosing Deathgasm. Or The Lighthouse.
But Deathgasm never won an Oscar. That's the only thing.
And
for
I'm
your
glad.
consideration,
Yeah, because it's just you're talking to a guy who listens to grindcore that is used to people not knowing what the fuck I like. I listen to shit no one's ever gonna hear or like either. So,
and that's kind of our whole point. I ain't gonna cut you off in but that's kind of our whole point is that the Oscars keep nominating shit that nobody watches. Yeah, I know you don't watch. Nobody. Look at this. What is this shit? What is All Quiet on the Western Front? What is The Bachelors of whatever the fuck?
I actually did see Banshees of Inisherin. I did see.
Oh, did you? Okay,
it was good. It was good.
Did you see Triangle of Sadness?
I did not. I didn't see Top Gun.
Okay, there you go.
Or
so they got all this shit on here, but at the same time, Top Gun and Avatar, we got to throw some poppy shit on there to get people watching some of it to make us seem like, that we're cool and we're with it, because they can't do MCU. So they got to have some other shit on there, So they got to have some shit that people have watched. So you got those two movies on there that probably have no chance of winning because they're going to give it to Triangle of Sadness, whatever the fuck on there, just get people watching. But hold up, let's see what you got. Everything more than like a million.
That's a great movie.
And that's the thing. When movies do well, I know they used to when they used to get nominated or even win Oscars, they used to get more at the box office, get more revenue.
Yeah,
that may not be the case now because the thing is nobody watches the Oscars anymore.
Yeah,
like it's not a thing in pop culture. It kind of came and went.
Sometimes they get a movie right that like Coda last year. Coda's back. That is great. I think it deserves everything. That movie fucking had me weeping and shit. That was a great fucking movie. And I backed that winning Best Picture because it was great.
But then the year before that, like the Green Book, like really?
Yeah, but most of the time it's usually movies. What's the movie? True Romance. It's unwatchable movies based on unreadable books.
Right.
You know,
But that's the thing. Like I said, we talk about the Oscars, like, okay, like you like Deathgasm and I like this, but like that. The thing is that the Oscars, the people that vote for the Oscars are a specific demographic. Like we can look, there's a difference between a good movie and an Oscar-worthy movie. You know, you can look at a movie and tell like, oh, they're trying to win an Oscar. You know, like that Will Smith Slave movie that came out there. Oh, he's trying to win an Oscar. Is it good or not? Probably not. It probably sucked. But the thing is, it's a movie trying to win an Oscar.
Yeah,
and
certain criteria they go for. They usually go for like
I'm
Green
sorry,
Book.
Jake. Not to even out Eli. My bad take. Fuck that movie. I'm sorry.
I haven't even seen it because
it's another one of those. It's another one of those racism or over movie. You know, Kumbaya.
The white guy sticks up for the darky and saves him from racist shit. And
another one of those movies. Like okay. Let's see. Who is this? Hey, what up? Digger by the way 7. Diggs by the way 7. I think you're a first time listener I haven't seen before. Who is it? Is that a cowboy? Y'all been lost. Sorry. But what was I talking about? Yeah, like I said, they nominate all these movies, stuff like that. Nobody watches this shit. Nobody watches the Oscars. That like it's not the Oscars is not in the zeitgeist anymore. People don't watch. The last interesting thing that happened last 10 years, the Oscar was this. And I guarantee you, nobody saw that shit live. You heard about it on Twitter. Nobody saw it live. You heard about it on Twitter. You went, wait, what? You Googled it online. You Googled it on YouTube. Maybe you went to the Comic Bullies and saw Let's Talk About That Night. Maybe, But the thing is, you heard people talking about it, but nobody saw the shit live because it's not a thing. It's not in the zeitgeist. What do we got here? What? Okay, Jake. We're going to have words.
I mean,
Forrest Gump was awesome.
I like Forrest Gump, but do I think it was better than Pulp Fiction? No. Because Pulp Fiction was the nomination.
Pulp Fiction that year.
That was in the year Pulp Fiction was nominated. So yeah.
Forrest Gump was still awesome. Better than Pulp Fiction? No. I agree with you on that. But which one? Okay, but between Forrest Gump and Pulp Fiction, which more is Oscar worthy? Not which is better. Yeah. For which one checks the boxes?
Yeah, Forrest Gump definitely checks the boxes.
Right. That's all.
Yeah.
Even though Pulp Fiction is a better movie.
Yeah.
Because let's look at the top 10 list again. Okay, because Eli, like I said, me and you a couple years ago, you and I, couple weeks ago, made our own top 10 list. Mm-hmm. Now, some of us, some of our movies are on there. Some of them are not, But the thing is that, of course, the movies, we didn't go by what do I think the Oscars like. No, we went by what we like.
Yeah.
And people like our list. And I guarantee people like our list better than the Oscar list right here. You want to watch Sonic 2 or Triangle of Sadness? Which one you want? And now a lot of people are saying that one movie is a snub. Now, this movie was not a snub because both movies that was very high on both of our lists was RRR.
Yes.
Now, notice that RRR wasn't on the list.
No.
Now, bigger podcasts than us have been getting information wrong, saying, oh, it's a snub and this is like that. Actually, RRR wasn't a snub. It wasn't submitted by the Indian government. That's why it's not on there.
But
they submitted something.
They have a song nominated. That song is nominated.
Because they nominated the song for that category. But for Best Picture, they didn't nominate RRR for Best Picture. That's why it's not there. Because if RRR was there and if it didn't win Best Picture, I'd be like, fuck the Oscars. I'm already like, fuck the Oscars, but I really would like, fuck the Oscars then, Plus, another reason I don't give a shit about the Oscars or like these uppity critics with, the thumb up the ass shit like that, because one of my favorite movies of all time, Friday, never won an Oscar. Hell, most critics at the time gave it 2 thumbs down. But still an awesome movie. Eli, you can't say it's not an awesome movie. You can't say Friday's not an awesome movie. I saw that
twice in the theaters.
Okay, there you go. Jake, you better say it's an awesome movie. So we all agree on it, even though we know it doesn't check the boxes on an Oscar movie, like that. Because at the end of the day, it's basically a stoner comedy. I mean, if you really want to talk about it. But let's see what Jake got. Jake, you better give me some good, Jake. You better give me some good.
Oh,
there you go, Jake. There you go. Oh man.
What year was Jake born? Like 95?
I mean, if Jenna Ortega's his crush, I mean.
Yeah, I'm about to say, he's into Jenna Ortega. Florence Pugh should have won an Oscar for fucking shitty ass Midsummer. How old are you, Jake? Are you like 18 or something?
Well, let's shut our old ass up.
We're just old. We're just too fucking
we're just old as
yeah.
fuck. That's all. Oh man. So yeah, that's my thing about that. So like I said, the Oscars do everything they can because they're clawing at ratings. Matter of fact, the year they gave it to Black Panther that year because Disney threatened them to give it to Black Panther. Because that same year, Zack Snyder won an Oscar for Justice League. And nobody cared about that, but he won an Oscar for Justice League.
What for effects or something, or
no, for like best scene. Here's the thing: is okay. They made up a category just for that shit. It was fan voted because the Snyder Bots came out of nowhere. It was that scene at the end. Did you see you didn't see the Snyder Cut, did you?
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see the end of it? 4 hours.
What? The one where Joker came out, or
okay, so you saw the end of it, not that.
Yeah.
He didn't win an Oscar for that.
Okay.
He won an Oscar for when Flash reverse time went to the Speed Force and shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fan voted that was the best scene out of others. I can't remember. I think he won over Endgame or some shit like that. I can't remember whatever it was. Zack Snyder won an Oscar that night.
Okay.
For some bullshit.
Didn't Suicide Squad win some shit too?
They did, and they actually won legit. It was like best costume
or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So, but the point is, they made up an award just to do it because they know that's what the fans want to see.
I know, because every now and then the Oscars will nominate something groundbreaking. Yeah, Star Wars was nominated for Best Picture.
But Star Wars was a game changer at the time.
Yeah.
We didn't get 20 sci-fi movies a year when Star Wars came out.
Sci-fi was pretty much a dead genre before Star Wars came out, and
right.
It got nominated for a bunch of shit. It didn't win Best Picture,
right?
But it got nominated. I mean,
like visual effects, it was a game changer. Like honestly, when Star Wars came out, it took Hollywood 10 years to catch up.
Yeah, I mean, before Rick Baker, I mean, they didn't have a special effects category until Rick Baker did American Werewolf in London. Yeah,
it is nominated. It's not gonna win,
yeah.
but here's the thing: 2 billion people watched that movie, so you gotta have a movie in there to get people to watch.
Yeah, and it's like Spielberg. Like there's like these certain directors that just get their shit nominated. Yeah, James Cameron's an Academy Award winning director, so when he makes a movie, it's usually same thing with Tarantino. As much as I like Tarantino, not all his movies should be nominated, but every movie is nominated for Best Picture.
And that's another thing we got to talk about also. That
Spielberg too. Spielberg's got that Fable. I haven't seen it yet, but it looks like it's an autobiography about his life.
So what something kind like that. And he got nominated for that.
Thing is that
the Oscars love that shit.
Yeah, so, and that's nominated. So and that's why I think that's why Avatar is nominated. It's just because it's James Cameron.
And that's another thing. Like I said, the Oscars is also a boys' club. Like if you're in the circle, you got a chance to get nominated. For instance, like Adam Sandler. What's that movie? Uncut Gems.
Mm-hmm.
People saying he should have been, or maybe even won, or maybe got nominated for him. And the Oscar straight up said, we're not going to nominate Adam Sandler because he's Adam Sandler. Just the fact that he's there makes us look bad, because they don't want to put Adam Sandler, Waterboy, and Happy Gilmore, in that same category just because he's not in the cool kids table, But
Gilmore,
none of that should matter.
Yeah, Happy Gilmore, better than Silence of the Lambs.
Debatable. We're not going to go there.
I had a smile on my face while I was watching Happy Gilmore.
Okay, that is true. Happy Gilmore was my shit.
I had a
Jake,
good time.
If you haven't seen Happy Gilmore, go watch Happy Gilmore. I love that movie.
Matter of fact, I was like this.
Matter of fact, I'll even say this: Happy Gilmore might have the funniest scene in cinematic history. That scene.
Which one?
Bob Barker.
That's funny.
I'm sorry.
I was thinking about the kiss. I was thinking about the dream where he's making out with grandma with the kiss out.
Oh, that okay. I see that. But that Bob Barker scene, when I was laughing my ass off the Bob Barker. The Price is Wrong, bitch. Anyway,
you eat pieces
hilarious.
of shit for breakfast.
Shooter McGavin. Okay, you swaying me on it. You swaying me on it. Yes, Happy Gilmore is better than Silence of the Lambs. Okay. Happy Gilmore is better. Okay.
Kiss you all over.
Eli, block Jake.
That is a debate. I don't know.
Not a debate. Friday's funny, but like I said, it's all subjective. It's all subjective.
Yeah, I did see Friday twice in the theater, but I didn't see I only rented Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, maybe I think they came out about the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, close to each other.
I might lean towards Friday. Yeah, I think I might. Yeah. And I'm giving this critical thought. I'm critical thinking here, and I will say I think Friday is better than Happy Gilmore. They're both great.
Both great movies. Got to watch them. So yeah. And that's another thing. Like I said, comedies never get nominated at Oscars either. Horror, comedy, none of that shit. Most sci-fi shit and fantasy doesn't get. I mean, I can't say that because Avatar got nominated. That's about as sci-fi.
Well, remember, like a few when District 9 and like Matt, they were like trying to recognize genre filmmaking, and that's how Mad Max got nominated. And Shape
Mad
of
Max
Water.
came out of nowhere. I was like, man, but I mean, it honestly, it deserved it. I just thought it was just out of left field. It was like,
I was like,
okay.
That kind of sort of fits the criteria.
I mean, if you think about it, you're like, okay, Mad Max is. I mean, is what you're looking for, Oscar? It's there.
Yeah, I mean, just the level of filmmaking and the artistry on that movie, but also George Miller is an Oscar. He did Babe. He didn't just do Mad Max flicks. He does all kinds of movies. But he's known
I
for
can't
Mad
remember
Max.
the rest. I can't remember the rest of the movies on that list. I just know that it was like Mad Max was by far my favorite on that list. Even though I knew it wasn't going to win.
Oh, yeah.
They were going to give it to some other bullshit. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Lord of the Rings.
All three Lord of the Rings are nominated.
And that's the thing.
I mean, and it should be. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that was again, they're recognizing the level of effort. They shot these 3 movies back to back for 5 years?
But even Lord of the Rings in 2000, you didn't have this plethora of sci-fi and fantasy like you did.
Yeah. And
it's not like it is now. Like every time you turn around, there's some more shit like that.
For me, Two Towers is the best out of the trilogy. But Return of the King won the Oscar. It's like,
it's the best out of the trilogy. That's why
I think Two Towers is the best.
Even though Two Towers is awesome, but yeah.
But it's like, okay, we're finally just gonna recognize. To me, the Return of the King winning is just like them recognizing all 3 movies and the level of work that went.
Because they shot them because it's really just one movie.
Yeah. No.
So that's my thing. So why are we talking about? I'm not even gonna watch the Oscars this year.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we cut Super Sons for that.
Right, just for this. We'll talk about Super Sons very briefly on that. But the reason I'm talking about that because even though the Oscars coming up, the reason I don't give a shit about the Oscars or any of these awards because the Grammys are next week, and I already know the bullshit they're gonna do for Best Rap Album of the Year is gonna be Jack Harlow. I already know. Why? Because we already know.
And you talk about shit that I don't give a fuck about. That I've never.
I don't give a fuck about it either. Like, why is he even nominated for that bullshit ass album he put out? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's why. I think that's all we need to say before we get canceled. Let's move on from that. Hold on, let's see what Jake got. Jake, you better not say Jack Harlow shit slaps. You better not say is where it said though. The Grammys is trash. But yeah. Can we move on to the next part of the podcast? I don't even know where we're going from this.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we have next? I don't even know. Oscar so horror movie. What is this? Oh, something brief, some small, some quick. Okay. Teen Titans Doom Patrol. Cancel. Why my question is, why did either of them last that long as they did? Now Eli, you know me. I watch any bullshit DC puts out. Watch it from cover to cover, and I can get through either one of these shits. Now I will say
I watched a little bit of Titans, and I couldn't hang.
Yeah, I'm saying now if I can't watch it, it sucks. I'm sorry. Now the thing is, everybody is just using this as an excuse to shit on James Gunn. James Gunn is canceling all our TV shows. No, he didn't. He didn't cancel this shit. It was canceled before we even got there. And plus, nobody watched this. Nobody watched these shows. So what are you getting pissed off? Because I've never heard anybody talk about any of these shows like past the first episode of what they did. Nobody said anything about season 3. They had the Under the Red Hood storyline on there. Nobody gave a fuck.
On Titans?
Yes. Jason Todd killed by the Joker, came back to Red Hood, whole thing. Nobody cared.
Was Joker on the show?
I don't know. Maybe. I stopped watching by the end. Or if they showed him like, actually, kind of, but no. Don't blame James Gunn. He had nothing to do with it. Exactly. James Gunn didn't do that. Just using this as an excuse to just shit on James Gunn just because these Snyder bots out here just using any excuse to just go after him. Like, y'all don't have to make up reasons to go after the guy. He's gonna give you enough ammo to get him with. You don't have to make up shit. Just relax, calm down. You know. Oh, what else I want to say about this? It was something else I want to say about Teen Titans. Okay, so as far as I'm gonna just give brief reviews about it. As far as Doom Patrol was okay at first, just weird as fuck. So that's why I can't recommend it to anybody, because the further it went on, it got like really weird. But some weird was good. For instance, they had Flex Mentallo on season 1, and he has these reality warping powers. But when he flexes his muscle, so when he was supposed to do something to be the bad guy, he flexed the wrong muscle and made everybody on the team orgasm for some reason.
I heard about that.
Yeah, but the funny thing was in season 2, when Elastigirl saw him again, and she was like, Flex Mentallo, remember that power you did in season 1? Would you mind coming upstairs with me and show me the power again? I was like, oh shit, okay. So they did shit like that. That was pretty funny, But then the show started getting so weird. It's like I can't really recommend anybody. And sometimes it's just like kind of just trying to top themselves over again. Like shit, like I'm not going to tell you the weird shit they did on the show. As far as Titans suck. From beginning to end, from episode 1 to whatever episode they're on right now, suck. I don't care. The show just sucked. It's beginning to end it. I'm gonna tell you how bad the show sucked. Eli, can you tell me who this guy is?
Was that Bruce Wayne?
Yes, that is Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm. No, I did watch. I tried. I gave Titans a whirl, and I couldn't hang.
That's when you was like, "Fuck it, I'm out."
Yeah, I couldn't hang with it, man.
Because his thing, this isn't old man Bruce, even though he's an old man. He's still Batman. He's Batman, and so he ain't retired, nothing like that. He's still being Batman. So just like, that's the worst Bruce Wayne ever. And the thing is, the show didn't know if it wanted to be in the Snyderverse or it wanted to be CW. So it was like a weird mixture of it's like if CW and the Snyderverse had a baby.
It was CW with swearing. That's all it was.
Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Is this based on the Teen Titans? More weird than Legends? Yes. Legends was kooky. Legends was goofy. Titans was weird. Titans was just like, what?
Or Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol, that's what I meant to say. Doom Patrol was just weird. Like, what the fuck is happening? Legends was just goofy. They just did goofy shit. But it was, kind of like that. So that's my thing. And Doom Patrol had swearing on it too, like that, but it didn't go overboard like, fuck Batman. Shit like why? It was just such a weird show, man. Like Titans, it didn't understand what it wanted to be. Both of these shows outlived their usefulness. They were only designed to just be on DC Universe, which is a platform that outlived its usefulness.
Well, when Jason Todd looks like a male porn star,
and that's who was Red Hood. That's who was Red Hood. It was
like, man, I'll fuck this Jason Todd up.
Like, everything about this show is just wrong. Why? They were actually adapting Titans episode, like Titans like storylines for the comics, just fucking them up. Just like, stop. Just put both of these shows out of misery. They just don't. That's all I gotta say about that. So yeah. Stop blaming James Gunn for this.
We cut Super Sons to talk about this.
Yes, because I just wanted to bitch about both of these shows, man. That's why. Okay, that being said, let's get to it. Let's talk about Super Sons. Super Sons, okay. Awesome.
It's on. Yeah, it's on. It is. It's awesome. It's great.
It's awesome. That's what else we got to talk about. It's on HBO Max right now. Go watch it. Go watch it before you watch either of these shits.
Yeah. So yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, talk about Super Sons. Okay, cool.
My favorite part: I knocked out Batman with one punch.
Oh man. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about is Shazam 2. I did not want to talk about Shazam 2 until this morning when this dumbass did some shit. All I can say is that DC is gonna DC every single time, because honestly, Shazam 2, I saw the trailer, I didn't give a shit. I saw the Shazam trailer 1, didn't give a shit, because the thing is, why does Shazam 2 even exist if he's not fighting The Rock? Why are you even making this movie? And we all know that The Rock turned down the movie. Rock didn't want to be in the movie. He don't want to be associated with Shazam. He only plays for the big leagues and shit like that. They didn't even have Mr. Mind in the trailer. He's fighting a bunch of old ladies in the movie. Shout out to Lucy Liu. but he's fighting old ladies in the movie. Like, why are we excited for this shit? Which honestly nobody is. Especially since we already know.
Loki show to me. I was like, is this the Loki show?
Probably so. It's like it just wants to be another. It wants to be another MCU movie, but we already know everybody's going to be fired after this movie is done anyway. So it's like, why are we even excited for this one? Hold up, let's see what we got. Y'all seen the episode of Velma yet, Eli? Oh yeah, I watched the whole episode. I watched every episode so far. Like I said, I don't hate it. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's bad. It's not the worst thing in the world. Back to Shazam. So the reason we're talking about this is because even though it looks terrible, even though we know everybody's going to get fired, why are we talking about this? Because Zachary Levi today put out this tweet, and it's always a tweet that fucks you up. So they asked him, what did he think about Pfizer? Is it a real danger to the world? Hardcore agreed. So that's all he had to say for the internet to go crazy and label him as an anti-vaxxer. So now that he's labeled as an anti-vaxxer, Zachary Levi is canceled.
Is he an anti-vaxxer though?
Well, that's the thing. We don't know. This is all he put out. He just said Pfizer, is a danger to the world.
Because Pfizer is a
company. Is a corporation.
A corporation that deals with medical technology and bio experimentation.
More than just a vaccine, right?
And they have been sued for fraud in the past, which is the reason why people were freaked out about the fucking vax. Now, I'm not anti-vax.
Don't get canceled, Eli. Don't get canceled. I gotta put up a disclaimer. No. The views of Eli does not reflect.
I don't give a fuck. I got 4 vaccines, motherfuckers. I just got my 4th fucking vax booster, so I ain't anti-vax. In fact, I signed up to be a volunteer when they were making the vax. I didn't get chosen, but I was like, oh, you're gonna make a COVID vax? Shit, yeah, give it to me. Because I believe in science. So fuck y'all. Fuck the internet.
Fuck Zachary Levi.
Yeah, fuck Zachary Levi. I'm just saying, some companies do shady shit. Is he I don't know if he's an anti-vaxxer or not.
Well, that's the thing. It's a very vague tweet. Yeah. So he may be just anti-Pfizer, Yeah. But the internet gonna internet.
The internet. It's the fucking internet.
It's the internet. Yeah. So they see that tweet and
hunt.
They just go, anti-vax. He's anti-vax. Yeah. That's it. He's canceled. Get him out of here. So you got people saying, well, I'm going to boycott this movie now. You weren't even going to see it. Yeah. But I'm definitely going to see it now, just because of that. They saying they
You know what? I'm going to see it now. No.
just to piss him off. They want him to put out a public apology. They want him to put out a statement.
I can't wait to see the Shazam 2 movie.
Now you're going to get us canceled, Glad. Like we haven't said worse shit on here before, but yeah. Respect couple is the only one. I guess so. So that's my thing about that. So people are super pissed about him right now. And the thing is, here's my thing. Okay, here's a very vague tweet, and maybe he is just talking about, fuck Pfizer, not anti-vax. But it is the worst possible time to put out this tweet because we know how the internet is. Don't fumble the bag. Don't pull a Gina Carano. Don't do that.
Just pretty stupid. Yeah, it's like a month away. It's a month away.
Like away. Like if you're gonna say stupid shit like this, wait for the movie to come out. Then just say whatever you want.
Shit on the internet. Just say
that's all. Yes. Just don't say anything. Just say my movie is coming out in a month. That's it. That's all you have to say.
That's it. That's how it used to be. That's how Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's all he did. Go see my movie.
That's it. That's all he didn't get all this bullshit about the anti-vax and all this stuff like that. He just said, "See my movie." That's it. But no, Zachary Levi wants to come out here and say some dumb shit right before the movie comes out. Now, like I said, is he right? Is he wrong? But the thing is, the tweet is so vague. We don't know what to make of it. But people are going to make what they want to make of it anyway.
Yeah, it does. It does seem a little. Well, yeah, that's the first thing that comes up. Oh, he's anti-vax.
Right. Because the tweet is so ambiguous, it leaves room for that, which you should know that when you make their tweet like that, people are going to speculate and say things like this. So
they're going to critically think, but critically think the wrong way instead of saying,
put way too much thought in the
what does he actually mean by it? Instead of going, what? He's a fucking fuck him. Yeah, because that they can think, but just not enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man, so Shazam 2. We didn't even talk about the trailer, but fuck it. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, it's like
It's yeah, but it's like it wouldn't be a DC movie without the main actor fucking up. That's all I'm saying.
I saw Black Adam, so I don't think I need to see Shazam.
Right.
I mean, I wasn't excited for it. You know, shit, I ain't even excited for Ant-Man.
Well, Eli, we're supposed to be. We're supposed to. No, Eli, we're supposed to be.
We're supposed to
be. People want us to do a Kane tutorial on them.
Oh.
On Ant-Man. Yes. We're supposed to be so excited about Kane and Ant-Man and MODOK and whatever.
Yeah.
So
I bought the Kang figure back in the day. I had a Kang figure.
Y'all don't want me. Here's the thing. Y'all really don't want me to do a Kang tutorial 101. I'm not going to do some IGN bullshit. I know shit about Kang that would be like, what? But I'm not going to say it on this show. He'll be on Joe Rogan. That's what one of the tweets said. That's what the tweet said. Yeah.
Oh,
not you, Eli.
Oh, Zachary Eli. Or me. I was going to say, I'm too stupid to be on Joe Rogan.
I'm going to go one day. Eli won't be here. He'll be on Joe Rogan. Like, what the hell? Oh man, but yeah, that's my thing. So, just a lot of dumb shit, man. Let's see. I want to break down Ant-Man and what it stands for. What is the significance of the Ant-Man? Exactly. Yeah. Oscar contender.
All I know is he used to beat his old lady. That's all I know.
But they left that out. They left that out of a week. That's the thing. Y'all don't want us to do an Ant-Man tutorial.
Yeah, man. See, you don't want to be woke? No, I'm woke. I'm bored by Ant-Man just for that shit. I don't support domestic abuse. Fuck
exactly.
Y'all.
We are not going to see. We're not going to see Ant-Man, but we will see Shazam. Oh man! Remember when this show used to be talking about action comics? You know? Oh man! All right. So what are we talking about? You know what? Let's move to the next part of the podcast.
I still want to talk about Super Sons.
Okay, let's go back to Super Son. So, okay, Super Son.
We don't have to.
Okay, Super Sons is awesome. Everybody go watch Super Sons if you haven't seen it.
Watch Super Sons.
Oh man! All right, moving on. Like I said, if you listen this long, we're not about to talk about comic books. The comic bullies. We're talking about comic books, and we're going to start off with it. We have a lengthy, girthy section, meaty, throbbing.
Oh shit!
I
forgot. I totally forgot to save images. So fuck it. You know,
okay,
no images. Well, you don't get the PowerPoint.
It's okay, Eli. Theater of the mind.
Yes.
We're gonna make everybody close their eyes while you review the comics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go to your happy place.
Exactly. Oh man. So what book should we do first? First book we're gonna do is Sins of the Sinister.
Okay.
Sins of Sinister.
You're going first. Okay.
Oh yeah, you usually go first. I'm gonna go first. Fuck it.
No, yeah, you go first.
Okay. Now you did read this, right?
I did read this.
Okay. All right. So you read this, so you can help me out with this, because here's the thing: we're gonna go deep into this book. There's some stuff I saw that I'm just like, wait a minute, that I have a feeling no other comic book reviewer is going to do, or even scared to do.
That's why you're doing it, man, because there's a lot of shit out. This is just crazy book, crazy ass book.
It's a crazy ass book. Okay, I'm gonna just leave and let you and Jake just have y'all one-on-one. But
say?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't see. Let me pull it back.
DM me, yo, DM me. Costs money though. I charge. It ain't for free.
Exactly.
No nah without the dollar.
Oh man, what are we talking about? Cliff. Cliff, where are you? I know you're not here, Cliff, but I know you see us. Oh, come on! It was Egghead.
Is Cliff listening?
Cliff is listening, but he just DM'd me, so he's here, but he's not here.
Oh,
shout out to Cliff.
Is he mad about the football game or something?
No, he doesn't. I think he is. Yes, but not anymore. Egghead was no. Okay, I wish I could put this comment up. Okay, so Cliff is saying Egghead was controlling Pym. Wrong. Egghead was not controlling Pym.
Is he talking about Ant-Man? Is he talking about?
Yes, we're talking about Ant-Man. I'm sorry. I'm trying to clue everybody in on the conversation. He's talking about Ant-Man. We're gonna do an Ant-Man tutorial right now, 1-on-1. Let's go for it. Okay. why did Hank Pym beat his wife? Let's just go for it. Let's go for it. Y'all want a tutorial? We're gonna give you a fucking tutorial. Let's go. Why did Ant-Man beat his wife? Ant-Man beat his wife because he was an asshole. That's why he beat his wife. It wasn't a Skrull. It wasn't because of Egghead. It wasn't because of Kang the Conqueror mind controlling him. He was an asshole. He was a small dick asshole that couldn't get it up to fuck his wife. That's why. And yes, that's in the comic. So what are we going with this now?
Didn't some shit happen like at the cemetery too?
What cemetery?
Somebody's grave.
Oh,
I'm talking about in the Ant-Man comics and shit.
At the grave. I don't remember that. But I do remember. Oh, Cliff just said he triggered me. Anyway, let's go back to what we were talking about. Anyway, Sins of the Sinister. That's what we're talking about. Sins of the Sinister. We're gonna talk about this book. Now, oh shit. Get out of here. Now, for those that caught up with the book last time, this was in the Immortal X-Men number 10 when it was revealed that Professor X was secretly a Sinister clone. Now, let's go on back and see what's going on with the rest of this book. So they try to catch up with the rest of the book. And it actually opens up with the beginning of Jonathan Hickman's X-Men run, where it shows, Mr. Sinister, where we actually showed Professor X at first, but now it shows Mr. Sinister. He's like, to me, my me's. And it's just a whole bunch of Cyclops. He has like this weird infatuation with Cyclops for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah. But anyway, we get into it, and we basically talk about, then they fast forward. So, in the beginning of the book was actually 10 years in the future. This is showing now, basically showing the last issue, what happened when, Sinister got absorbed into Krakoa, whatever like that. And they show Professor X, he has a diamond on his head. And then he gets approached by Emma Frost, who sees the diamond on his head. And it turns out she has a diamond also. She is also Sinister clone. And that's when you see Exodus and Hope show up and see them. They also Sinister clones. So everybody that he killed in the Quiet Council in Immortal X-Men, the last issue, he replaced with clones. So now he controls the Quiet Council. And what they're doing, they're going to pretend like they're normal and put on this dog and pony show, but they're really reacting or acting out Sinister's plan. And what is his plan? He wants to give the mutant gene of immortality to everybody. Humans, mutants, whatever. Everybody can get the gene. I'm going to come back to that in a second. And they're basically pretending like they arguing, but they're not really arguing. They're really all on the same page. Exodus is like, we should never give the humans our mutant gene. And Hope is like, well, what if I said it's okay? We're like, well, I changed my mind again because Hope said it's okay, and basically, they all on board. And they just say, how do they do it? Well, we're going to get Forge to replace Mr. Sinister because Forge can do it, and like Forge would never do something like that. Oh, we'll convince him, Meanwhile, we'll go back to a year. This is fast forward to a year. We have Ben Urich. What's his name? Ben Urich. Okay. He's meeting with J. Jonah Jameson in some kind of like secluded area because he's trying to sell him a story, And he pulls out this needle and he basically tells J. Jonah, I gotta poke you with this needle to make sure you're you. He's like, no, don't do that. So he stabs him, with the needle or pokes him with the needle. And then he realized, okay, cool, you're you. Okay. So here's the thing. What he's trying to tell him is that this, and I'm gonna just say it, this vaccine, because I gotta say it. And that's the hidden thing. I think what they're trying to say in this book that they're trying to keep in there. They're trying to say that Ben Urich is saying that the X-Men basically offered the vaccine to everybody for, to be immortal. But in the vaccine, they slipped something in there. And I'm trying to uncover this conspiracy. And Jay Jones is like, do you have proof? He's like, of course I have proof. And that's when Jay Jones is just like, well, guess what? You're actually right. But it doesn't matter. So he is a Sinister clone also. He's already been replaced. And he brings in a whole nother Sinister clone. So he tells him, so guess what, Ben? Your last story is going to be you prove right about everything that you're thinking about the vaccine. But guess what? It won't matter. So he's gone. So there we go. So we back to, I guess we're still a year later. And we got Forge, making some kind of orbital cannon. And what is he doing with this orbital cannon? He's going to kill Krakoa. Boom, Krakoa's dead. We're not really dead, but like some kind of drooling vegetable, stuff like that. And Cypher is just like Krakoa, what happened? And that's when Wolverine, who's also a Sinister clone, kills him because he's like the biggest threat to them right now, you know. So he's out of there, and they do not resurrect him. Meanwhile, Emma Frost tells the world, because they gave the humans the vaccine also, they're like, well, Krakoa is dead, and Krakoa had our backup of everybody in there. So even though we have backups of mutants, we can no longer give the immortality to humans. Sorry. And guess what? Orcus attacked us, even though they really attacked themselves. They blame it on Orcus. So we're going to go attack Orcus. And if anybody else wants to help us attack Orcus, feel free to come. And of course they do. And that's when the Avengers help them out attacking Orcus. And they just, you know, blaze through them and shit like that. So they attack them. And that's when Nimrod is just like, okay, I'm about to. So Nimrod, the same guy that in pretty much every future has killed the X-Men single-handedly, has to go up against the X-Men, the Avengers, and the Fantastic Four. And that's when Iron Man is like saying corny shit to him, and Mr. Reed's Mr. Fantastic, and Ford's just like, Tony, will you shut the fuck up? We try to plant the virus in him right now and kill him. So they plant the virus in him. He's dead. And the Avengers pretty much take out Orcus. And they're just like, well, what do we do now? Well, we can't save the people that already died, but we can make backups of people that are still here. But the thing is, they don't want to take the vaccine because they don't trust us. But Avengers, what if you convince them to take it for us? Because they trust you. And the Avengers like, you know what? We'll do it. And they're basically, the Avengers are the first one to take the vaccine, you know. So fast forward a little bit later, and Forge frees Mr. Sinister. He's free now. And he's basically just like, okay, so my plan is in motion. Everybody's doing what they're going to do. Y'all handle it. Bye. And he leaves. And he lets them handle it. So he goes to his Memorial Island because he made an AI backup of Moria McTaggart so he can predict the future and predict how things are going to go. So he just sits there and stays in Moria Island for the rest of the time, and he doesn't go anywhere. So here's the thing about Mr. Sinister. The reason what he's been doing is that anytime they make clones and resurrect people, Mr. Sinister hands them the DNA to the Five for the Five to, you know, clone everybody. But the thing is, Mr. Sinister has been slipping in tampered DNA of every clone he sent to kind of tamper with them. But the thing is, Hope has subconsciously rewritten everything he did. So that's why none of his clone shit worked before. So he know the only way to really take over, he got to take her out. But if you take her out, other people are going to come for it. So you got to take like a bunch of them at one time and replace them all at one time for his plan to really work. So now that Hope has been replaced and Professor X has been replaced, everybody's replaced, he's just chilling. He's going to sit here for the next 5 years and let his plan work out. So while he's doing that, he already predicted that Thanos was coming. So what they did, they mind controlled Juggernaut, shrunk him to the size of a bullet, shot him at Thanos, and blew his brains out. And he flew so fast that Juggernaut actually shot into space, and he just left him out there. So yeah. Meanwhile, Namor has also been corrupted also. How did he get corrupted? When he had sex with Emma Frost, she killed him in his sleep. That's how. So when Dr. Doom tried to recruit him, he stabbed Dr. Doom because he was really working for Mr. Sinister the whole time. So meanwhile, a Doom bot is really out there saying he's really Doom and he's working with whatever's left of Orcus. The Eternals were killed by what's the dude's name? Thanos' uncle or granddad. He was killed by them. The Fantastic Four were killed by Ben Grimm, who became a Mr. Sinister clone, and he turned everybody else into thing monsters too before he killed them. Meanwhile, the Avengers, since they'd already been replaced by Mr. Sinister clones, they assassinated the president at the time. I guess Joe Biden, maybe somebody else. I don't know. It was like that. They assassinated Joe Biden and took over. So the X-Men killed the Avengers, and the X-Men became Earth's mightiest heroes. So now the plan is working. So meanwhile, Storm is like this 5 years later. Storm is just like, okay, here's the thing, y'all. I have a problem with this plan we've been doing so far. It's like really screwed up. And Professor X's like, what's the problem with the plan, the Storm? You're like, well, for one thing, who the hell is this? This isn't Nightcrawler. Where's my friend? What did you do to him? And that's when Mr. Sinister shows up, and she's like, well, I got Nightcrawler right here. His genes went out of control, so I don't know what happened to him. Meanwhile, I replaced him with this clone that just raises his hand anytime I want him to. So I let him do that. But since you don't want that, I'm going to just sit Nightcrawler right here and just let him do what he wants to. And Stormers are like, Mr. Sinister, what the hell are you doing here? Didn't we trap you in the bottom of Krakoa like years ago? You're like, yeah, I got out. So, yeah. So and here's the thing, the reason Storm didn't get mind control like the rest of them is because she deleted her resurrection protocols. She's like, I don't want to be reborn. When I die, I die. That's it. So her and Magneto did that when they went to Mars. Magneto's dead. He died in the battle with the Eternals. Meanwhile, Storm is still there, and since they can't resurrect her, they can't mind control her. So they try to use Professor X and Emma Frost to just telepathically mind control her. But the thing is, she had already got some kind of safe blocks in her from some mutant from Araco from Mars, so they can't even mind control her. So she just like does it like this typhoon storm and just cuts out of there. She's like, I'm out of here. Y'all gone. And she shows later up in Peru, and she's like, okay, if y'all want to fight, let's fight. And then she sees Destiny and Mystique back there, and Storm is like, how did you know I was going to be here? And she's like, oh, you're Destiny. Never mind. Okay. And she's just like, well, what if we team up? And I'm pretty sure this is how we sow the seeds for how Storm becomes the leader of the Brotherhood of Mutants. Because of the X-Men are evil, she's on the other side of them. So that's pretty cool. Meanwhile, Mr. Sinister is just like, well, since Storm cut out of here, it's a seat open for the Quiet Council. I nominate myself as a spot. So he's back on the Quiet Council. Meanwhile, Sebastian Shaw takes over Hell. They make a deal with Hell. And while they take over a deal with Hell, they make a deal with Surtur in Muspelheim, and the X-Men cause Ragnarok. That way, none of the Asgardians as Thor can come after them. You know. Oh, and no more Wanda. Just to be on the safe side. You know. Who else they kill? So he remakes the X-Men also, but that's when he starts splicing DEA to make them all kind of weird X-Men. But the chemicals he use them are so toxic, they poison the Eastern Seaboard. You know. And meanwhile, and they also blow up Mars just to try to kill Storm, which they don't kill Storm. She gets away anyway, but everybody else on Mars is dead. Meanwhile, you got a Nightcrawler Spider-Man hybrid, and Mr. Sinister's walking around seeing his handiwork just there, and he sees everybody standing in line to take the vaccine. Meanwhile, Foggy Nelson just like, don't take the vaccine. There's a chemical plant in Westchester that is poisoning all of us. By the time you get the vaccine and you become immortal, you're going to die so fast, it's going to have to redo you anyway. And that's when Spider-Man snaps up Foggy Nelson, takes him out of there, and let's go. And Mr. Sinister just tells everybody that, yeah, I'm not even mind controlling everybody. They want to take the vaccine to be mind controlled. And see, and that's why I don't think much of humans, because they're dumb as hell. You know, so and that's when they have another meeting there, and they're basically saying that because we blew up Mars, the Shi'ar coming after us, and some other bad guy and other space people coming after us also to specifically wipe us out. So that's when Mr. Sinister's just like, he takes a vote and realizing that some of the X-Men that he mind control are not kind of rebelling against him. They're starting to have free will because he gave him too much free will when he cloned them. He's like, well, fuck this. I'm going to just blow up this world and just reset the timeline to start over again. At least I know what not to do next time. So he goes there. He tries to teleport back to Mirror Island. His teleport machine messed up, so he actually has to physically go there. And when he goes there to his machine that's supposed to, reboot the universe, somebody stole it. So he's stuck there in this fucked up timeline. The end. So yeah, and it's supposed to be showing from 10 years later to 100 years later to 1,000 years later. And yeah, that's the thing. So my question about this book. Is this book an anti-vax book? That's my question. I think it kind of is. I think it is. Or at least it's asking the question. Because the whole thing is about the X-Men slipping shit in there, which is any conspiracy theory about the anti-vax, that's the same shit they say. All these people like that. So I'm thinking, I'm not saying that the writer is anti-vax. I'm thinking he's planting some seeds in there in his story. So yeah. But
are you going to continue
ready?
reading
What
this?
would you say what?
Are you going to continue reading this event?
I think I might. Here's the thing. That's another thing that's reminding me of this book also. This book is giving me a lot of vibes of Age of Apocalypse. It's reminding me of that. There was some shit that actually made me quit reading X-Men comics in the 90s, where, this alternate future that's so fucked up and the mutants got to figure stuff out. I think Mr. Sinister is just stuck in some weird timeline, and that's the timeline he's just stuck in. And of course, it'll get rebooted and fine, whatever like that. So I'm pretty sure everything that happens in this book will have no repercussions going forward.
Or
on anything
House of M. It's like another
House of M. Same thing. Alternate universe, elsewhere thing. It's that. It's that all over again. And cool, I guess. But I'm not going to read every book in it. I'll just read some books in it. But I'm curious about the story. I'll stick with it.
Yeah,
I think honestly, I think they're starting to wrap up the whole Kokora thing though.
Yeah, I was a little curious. Like, that's why I read it, and I was like, damn, they're cramming a bunch of shit because I thought this was only going to be like a limited mini series just on Sinister. But then it's a huge event, and it seems like they're going to go. Like, it's going to have all these. It seems like all the X-Men books are going to be about. Yeah, then it would be like Age of Apocalypse, where it's just everything tied into this story.
Right, just one central thing.
And then I got kind of exhausted, like, oh, really?
Well, here's the thing, Eli. Here's the thing. I think the majority of those books are going to be filler.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be just nonsense, just throw away with it like that. I think there will be like this story and like the story at the end. They'll be the main story, but everything else is going to be just filler. You know.
Yeah.
Because also they're saying at the end, because in Hickman's run, they're basically saying like robots from space came down and killed everybody and took over. And basically saying in this storyline that's going to happen also, and that's why we'll go 1,000 years in the future. So,
well, he's kind of like basically kind of like acting. He's kind of like Scarlet Witch, where he took Moria's power of resurrection and then made all these save points in history so he can go back and redo.
That was his plan. That was his plan to do.
Yeah. And this carries over from, because I was reading Hellions, and Sinister was like a big part of that Hellions run, and I can see what he's always been planning some shit, and he was doing shady shit even in the Hellions book. So that's why I was intrigued about this story. But if it's gonna be this long, drawn out, year-long event, I don't know. I don't know.
It probably like 3 months. 3 months and it'll be over with. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a whole thing. But I think that they're about to wrap up this whole Krakoa thing.
And it seemed like they were making reference to the X of Swords and Powers of X or 10 or whatever fucking X of Swords, not X of Swords, House of X.
No, it was 10 of Swords. House of.
No, we're thinking of the sword. That was that tournament, right? The sword.
The tournament, but they call it 10. Yeah,
I'm talking about wasn't it called House of X when Hickman first took over? House of X, Powers of X.
House of X and Powers of X.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
House of X, Powers of 10.
10, Powers of 10, yeah.
Even though it had an X.
Yeah, because
it's a difference.
Because this wasn't this was 10, and in this book, it was like 10 years for Sinister to do all this shit.
Right, because that was his 10-year timeline, you know. And basically he was doing the same thing Moria did.
Yeah.
Because he was about to reboot the universe himself before somebody stole the machine. So yeah. Now who stole it? Who knows? Yeah. Tune in to find out. So yeah. All right. So yeah, but I'll stick with it. Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, at least for now. I
might.
Yeah. So what you got next?
Well, since we're on Marvel, I'll do the Marvel book. I'll get this out the way real quick. I'll just do this Yoda #3. The little Yoda solo book. So yeah, this is just Yoda back, before the Clone War, or was it during the Clone Wars? It's back, when the Jedi, were in high power, the height of Jedi power. Yoda gets sent to this planet. This village is being attacked by these like marauding bandit barbarians. Yoda basically helps them defend themselves. In one of the battles, one of the warriors, he was a kid. He was a younger kid at the time. He ends up killing in cold blood one of the marauders, and Yoda kind of chastises him for it. It's like, you didn't need to do that. You didn't need to kill him and shit. And then Yoda ends up leaving. So in this book, it's like 10 years later or something like that. It's years later. That kid who killed that barbarian in that battle is now revered by that village. He's like, he's considered like the hero of the village because he killed the enemy and shit. And his little nephew, his nephew really looks up to him. Like, my uncle is this big warrior. He's just this total badass. And also ushered in an era of peace between that village and those barbarians. So the barbarians haven't attacked in 10 years. So they get word that the barbarians are fishing in their lake or something. So that like triggers the kids like, hey, those barbarians are fishing in the lake again. We got to go attack them. And the uncle's like, no, don't, leave them alone. But the kids don't listen. It's like, no, we're a tribe of warriors and blah 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 blah. We got to go and defend our village and shit. And they end up going off. They go out, and they end up kidnapping the daughter of the barbarian chief and bring them back to the village. And the uncle's like, "What the hell did you do? What are you doing?" And the kid's like, "We're warriors. We had to like defend our village. Like they haven't attacked us in 10 years. You do not need to do this." Meanwhile, Yoda comes back and is like, "Hey, I see you guys need help again." And when the barbarians come to get their daughter back, they're all about to have this big ass battle. But then Yoda ends up mediating, saying, "Hey, we don't have to go to war. You guys live on the same planet. You guys should be neighbors and live in peace and shit." So Yoda kind of mediates the battle and they end up like, returning the daughter and squashing the beef, and they're going to live like as peacefully for now. And then Yoda takes off and like, "I did my job here," and all that shit, So it's just Yoda, kind of, teaching life lessons, that violence is not always the answer, and how we tend to glorify violence. I think that's might be the underlying theme of this book, how the uncle or the nephew glorified his uncle because he killed this barbarian 10 years ago, and we're warriors now. It's like, no, we're not. We were always just little simple farming village. We were never warriors, so being egged on by violence ends up triggering the kid to go commit more violence. And I think that's what, Yoda was trying to like, say, "Hey, we must, come to use diplomacy, come to more diplomatic solutions instead of fighting." So that's kind of like what Yoda does, kind of squashes the beef. And that's it. And that's it for this story, for this arc. I guess there's going to be another issue after this. There's another arc coming out after this. It's cool, simple Star Wars shit with Yoda. I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
Cool. Okay. Cliff also said Marvel's is the house of same ideas. Like I said, if it's his Age of Apocalypse and House of M, yeah, it's basically the same shit they've been doing. What I got next book I'm going to do is Action Comics number 1051. We actually skipped the issue before because, like I said, we were doing shit, but it doesn't matter. This is supposed to be a jumping off point. It's supposed to be where anybody can just pick up this book and know where they're going from it. So this is the new status quo for the House of L, So let's just jump into it and see what we got. All right. And there's a bunch of stories in here. We're only going to do the first story, unless you want to review the rest of them, Eli.
No, I'm good.
Okay. So the book starts off. It shows you a bird's eye view of the Daily Planet. So, the Metropolis. Things you need to see. The main thing you need to see, you got the Daily Planet, reporting shit like that. Usually the tallest building in Metropolis is LexCorp, which is right there. However, there's a blue building right next to LexCorp that is even taller. So the tallest building in Metropolis is neither Daily Planet or LexCorp. So what building is that? Let's go to it. So fast forward, you got basically that same blue building in the background. You got protesting outside the street. You got no aliens, blue earth. Basically, people are protesting that building. And meanwhile, you got people about to shoot up the building, violent protests about to start to riot. You got people about to ram into them. We've seen it happen before, protests before, but before they go into it, because they're in Metropolis, they take out the shooters, they take out the drivers that are about to run into people, and they take them up to the sky, and they let them blow up in the air. Can't hurt anybody. Meanwhile, the protesters are looking at them, and they feel better because, of course, Superman and his super family are there. And he's got the old pose of Kingdom Come, classic pose of Kingdom Come. So let's break down who are the super family we got right here. Okay, so you got Superman, of course, Jonathan Kent right there. That's Steel 2. That's Natasha. That's Steel 1, Steel 2. Supergirl, Carver Zarel. Connor Kent. I know Gabe doesn't listen to the show anymore, but he would be happy to see Connor Kent here. That's the Reign of Superman, one. This one is the Chinese Superman, Kenan Kong. This is Superman. You got to say Superman with that, and still. So that's, the new House of L, and basically everybody's like Superman and his family, And meanwhile, this one guy is walking by and his dog, and the kids the dog start barking at him, kids start crazy at him, and he just teleports away, and he just like, and it's Metallo, of course. And he thought that if he got like a human skin, he'd be able to pass, but he can't fool kids and animals. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor just like, oh, you didn't have the nerve to do it. He was like, I couldn't do it. Somebody recognized me. And Lex Luthor, well, it doesn't matter. Get it done tomorrow or your sister's dead. And he's like, fine, I'll do it, And meanwhile, we go to, 3822 West Main. I don't know if that's significant or anything like that, but that's where the Kent stay in Metropolis. So everybody's there. Everybody's hanging out, having fun. So why did Clark invite the family over? For two reasons. Oh, and and Jonathan Kent, sneaking in his house, finding his old World War shit. But the reason he's there is because he's announcing that Steel is going to build the biggest building in Metropolis. What he's going to do is that he's going to help him out with anything he needs. All the technology he's seen all over the universe and all the advanced technology, he's going to bring it to Earth. He's going to bring it to Metropolis. And he's going to put it in the hands of Steel. And under the advisement of Steel, he's going to use it to make Metropolis like this futuristic city. Because he feel like just, stopping floods and putting out fires, that's not enough. I need to do more, help people, climate change, all stuff like they need to help out. And the second announcement they made is that they adopted those kids from Real World. And now they're calling them the Super Twins. And they actually give them like their own House of L emblem and stuff like that, like that. And yeah, so that's it. Meanwhile, Jonathan is kind of jealous that he's not the only kid anymore. He's got siblings, but it's cool. Meanwhile, the Super Family are protecting to make sure that nothing happens to, the new building, which is going to be called Blue Earth. That's the whole initiative. And everybody sees them there. Natasha and Steel are there about to open it up. Meanwhile, everybody's saying that everybody's there except Superman. Meanwhile, Clark Kent is right there, but nobody sees him because they erased his secret identity in the last book or whatever like that. So meanwhile, they see somebody intruder there. The intruder is really Metallo. Metallo kills the guards. And meanwhile, Connor Kent, he sees Metallo. He's like, let me go check out, see what's going on there. So while he goes there, he gets hit by kryptonite also, and while he's there, he said he's going to turn Metropolis to the city of tomorrow. And that's when the top of the building blows up, and it's about to fall on everybody there. So Clark tells everybody to get in position. Super Family, protect the building, make sure the building doesn't fall on everybody. So they protect everybody, blast all debris, make sure everybody's fine. And that's when Superman hears like a silent whisper that only he can hear, and he knows it's Metallo. And he's just like, look, I'm not even doing this for revenge. They're making me do this. If I don't do this, they're going to kill my sister. So let's just come on down. Let's get this over with, And that's not between any of the Super Family. It's between me and you. Let's die. And then he throws Connor Kent to the side. To be continued. Meanwhile, some other story Reddit I don't really care about. So, yeah. But, yeah, that's the status quo going forward. Superman versus Metallo. I'll stick with it, see what's going on. Now that Superman is back in Metropolis and not in some space doing space shit, I'll keep up with it, see what's going on. So, yeah.
Super friendly. It's the X-Men. It's the Titans. It's a team book. It's the super team.
It really is. It really is. Because the rest of the book is about other people. Power Girl is a telepath now for some reason. I don't know.
Because of the Lazarus juice or whatever.
Yeah, because I guess. I don't know. But yeah. So what book you got next?
What do I have next? So I do the Ninja Turtles, the big release, the other big release this week.
Oh yeah, the last Ronin. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, this is a prequel to
/ side story.
Yeah, to the last Ronin, which was awesome. The last Ronin, Ninja
our
Turtle
favorite book.
Yeah. I went and got me the hardcover when they released it. It's fucking dope. Basically follows Michelangelo, who was the last turtle in a dystopian future as he fights Shredder's son. And he's the last turtle alive. All the other turtles are dead. And Michelangelo's the last one and basically battles Shredder and his fascist army and a futuristic New York with April and April's daughter and the Fugitoid and all that. Yeah, they all kind of have this big ass war in that book, and they defeat it. And then Michelangelo ends up dying. Kind of a fucked up, sad, awesome book. So this is a prequel to that. We have a prequel to what Michelangelo is doing before he went back to New York,
because they never explained it in the first book.
Yeah,
like they never said it.
Yeah, they didn't even show who he was. We didn't even know which one he was until like a couple issues in, right?
Right. Well, I mean, like in the first, the first part, it was like Michelangelo went to Japan, and they never showed what happened to him in Japan, and he just came back and boom, that's it. So
yeah. So this shows him in Japan. And then we also get a story.
Okay,
yeah, and then they switch back to the present, which is what happened after the last Ronin series, and it's got April and April's daughter, and they're training a new batch of turtles. 4 new turtles. One's a boy. 2 of them are boys. 2 of them are girls. They all have different strengths, and they're training them ninjutsu. So that's going on, so that's like the sequel
and
part.
raising them, also raising.
Yeah, raising them. Yeah. So that's like the sequel part of it. But then we get the flashback of what Michelangelo was doing in Japan. Turns out he went there to go die after all his brothers and Splinter died. He climbed this mountain basically to go freeze to death, but he didn't freeze to death. He ended up, finding a little house up in the mountains, cabin in the mountains, end up farming and raising, vegetables, and end up surviving there for 5 years. And then it turns out some kind of like warlord, crime lords start coming down to the village at the bottom of the mountain and start, taking over. And they try to go to his house and kill him. And he ends up killing a bunch of these gangsters or whatever. And then he goes down to the village to protect the village from the gangsters. So I think that's what we're gonna see, kind of like a 7 Samurai, or or the man with no name guy goes into the town to protect the town. That's what it seems like they're going with this. So it's pretty cool. It's old school TMNT shit. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I was a big fan of the first Last Ronin arc. So yeah, I was like excited for this. So it is cool. 4 out of 5. I'm gonna stay with it. So.
Okay, cool. I don't even know if I should do this book. I'm gonna do this book. Why not? Y'all knock it out. Justice Society #2. Justice Society of America #2. This that Jeff Johns run. JSA has been missing since the New 52 started. So what is this book? What is it about? I don't really know. I didn't read the first one, and it's very confusing. It's a time traveling story, but let's just get into it. See exactly what's going on. All I know is that it's okay. So the main thing about this book is that Huntress is the main person of the book. If you know who Huntress is, I'll explain who Huntress is in a second. So Huntress is originally
she was in Birds of Prey.
She was in Birds of Prey. Nobody saw that show, but yeah.
No, the movie.
Yeah,
the Harley Quinn movie.
Nobody saw the movie. Okay,
it's
but yeah,
cool.
she was.
They should see it.
Yeah, so when you say Birds of Prey, I think of the CW show. But there was a movie called Birds of Prey also, which she was in both, but she was 2 different people. The TV show was closer to her original origin. Basically, originally Huntress is Batman and Catwoman's daughter. That's what she is, and that's what she is in this story also. So, all right, so she's in the past. She was teleported in the past by her mother Catwoman by Dr. Fate's helmet with a snow globe, and that's where we pick up the book. So, and they looking at the snow globe, and it's like the snow globe got powers, and yeah, that's it. So she wakes up in infirmary, and she looks at the calendar, and the calendar says November 1940. So she realized she was teleported in the past. So now she's a part of the Justice Society in her time period, but that's the new Justice Society. Now she's transported in the past with the old Justice Society. And that's when you see them and they like, who the hell are you? I'm gonna name them real quick. Okay, so who we got? We got Hawkman, the Atom, Dr. Fate, Green Lantern, Flash, Sandman, Spectre, Hourman, Thunderbolt, and Johnny Thunderbolt. So yeah, and Huntress. Yeah. Let's see. And he just actually, oh, I like the art style of this. So you see those dots in there? I don't know if you can see them right there. You probably can't see them.
Kirby dots.
Those Kirby dots, exactly. Thinking they're purposely drawing this like an old comic, because in old comics you'll see this stuff all the time. So what they're doing right there. So basically, Hunter just telling the story. Look, I'm from the future. My team of the Justice Society was killed by some guy, and my mother sent me in the past to find Dr. Fate. And Dr. Fate just like, well, yeah, I can see her. Yeah, she's from the future. Everything she's saying is right. But let me go ahead and touch her head so I can show you her future, so everybody else can see exactly what's going on. So as soon as he touches her, he passes out and he gets teleported into the future. He gets teleported 1 year into the future, where he runs into the Justice Society Dark. And he runs into like Mr. Miracle and his sidekick that he never met before. And they're fighting Solomon Grundy. And he's like, what the fuck? And then he gets teleported back to his regular time. And he's just like, obviously somebody is stopping me from knowing her future. So instead of me knowing her future, how about you show me who is threatening her? And that's what he do. And then they do that. And then she gets thrown into the past. And we go look into her past and basically how she grew up trouble. Because I think in her past, Bruce Wayne didn't raise her. Like Bruce Wayne didn't know about her or something like that. But even though he's still around, and she basically raised by Catwoman, and she's always getting into fights like this. She like this boogeyman. This guy always keeps, showing up out of nowhere. And she's like, you quit making it up. And it turns out she wasn't making it up. She was getting attacked by some guy in her past. And that's when Catwoman is attacking the guy that attacked her, Per Degaton. Now, who is Per Degaton? The best way to describe Per Degaton is that he's basically DC's version of Kang the Conqueror. He's a time-traveling warlord conqueror. He's also a Nazi. So that's that. So basically what Catwoman did, she teleported Huntress to the past because Per Degaton is on the road to kill every Justice Society member because he got to do a thing, whatever like that. And he basically telling Catwoman, either tell me where Huntress is right now, or you can join Batman in the grave. And she's like, well, what do you think I'm here for? And then that's when Huntress gets a vision of the future of past that. Her mother is dead and buried right next to Batman. And that's when Per Degaton is looking at Catwoman's dead body. They're like, don't worry, I will find her. Don't worry about that. And that's when the snow globe breaks. And when the snow globe breaks, Huntress get teleported back to somewhere. Oh, and this is confusing also. Okay. This happened when this happened? 0 hour. This isn't supposed to exist, but it's here. It's very confusing because Extant killed the Justice Society in 0 hour in the 90s. Why is this happening? I don't know. But anyway, she shows back up somewhere and she sees Dead Man, Dr. Fate, the new Dr. Fate, and Detective Chimp. And they're just like, who the hell are you? To be continued. So this, man, okay, let me explain something. The Justice Society doesn't exist in the DC universe, but they're here. So is this an alternate future? Is it a parallel universe? Do they just exist now? The answer is yes. Jeff Johns is doing whatever the hell he wants to do and just writing whatever he wants. They don't care. Just let Jeff Johns do whatever he wants to do. So that's his book. So yeah. What you got, Eli? That's all I got. I don't.
We'll give it a rating.
Okay. Here's the thing. Even though it was weird, I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5 because I think I know where Jeff Johns is going with this story, even though I don't know, but I think I know. If he goes where I think he's going, it's a 3.5 out of 5. So
that Superman is awesome.
Yeah. Superman's gonna show up. He's the beacon, the hope, and whatever like that. I think here's what I think he's doing. I think he's going to write the Justice Society back into the regular universe. I think that's what he's trying to do. Somehow. So
okay.
Yeah.
His own little anti-crisis.
Yes, it's a crisis to beat the crisis. Yes.
All right. Okay, my last book. I will do Archie versus the World one shot. It's an Archie book. the Archie alternative universe books, where he fights the Punisher, or he fights the Predator, or where he fights zombies or vampires and werewolves and all that stuff.
The cover looked very manga inspired.
Yes, this is basically Archie meets Mad Max meets Fist of the North Star.
That's what I was about to say. The cover is very Fist of the North Star.
Yeah. So this is a dystopian future. The world has been ravaged by nuclear war, and it's a big desert wasteland. Riverdale is like a barter town, community. Archie and Jughead are rolling around in their jalopy Mad Max car, fighting barbarians out in the wasteland. They come to Riverdale, which is like this, gated, dystopian town. They have to go find Veronica, and what's her face? Betty is like a mechanic. Sabrina is like some fortune teller witch who basically, I think she's the one who gives him his like powers. So Archie is like the Fist of the North Star. He's got this he knows this magical martial art called the Flaming Fist or something, which so he can kick ass with like his with like a fire fist or whatever. So he basically has to go find Veronica. He fights Reggie in this gladiator Thunderdome type of thing. Uses that martial art to kick his ass. Here's Cheryl. I had to get the Cheryl panel. Cheryl is like, this the queen of the town. She's like remember Tina Turner in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome?
Yeah.
Auntie something. I forget her name. Auntie something. Whoever Tina Turner is, that's basically who Cheryl is in that town. She's like this warlord queen, and that's all this is. It's Mad Max, like I said, Mad Max meets Fist of the North Star, which Archie character. So it's a one shot. It's a lot of fun, just stupid, campy fun. I'll give it a 3 out of 5. It was free, and it was free. If it was free on Comixology, unlimited. If you got unlimited on Comixology, it's for free. All the Archie books are free, so that's why I was like, fuck it, I'll give this a whirl. It was free, and it was entertaining. So, yeah, and that's what Archie is. It's deconstructing that old 1950s Americana, the Norman Rockwell Americana, that view of old American life, small town America. But now, in the 2020s. They're deconstructing that and the idea of that. And that's what I dig about the new Riverdale show. That's what I like about these comics, is they're just like ripping apart that idea of Americana. And
Archie's been relevant this long.
Subverting those ideas and shit. So yeah, this was fun. Stupid fun. So yeah.
Cool. One more story I got to talk about is actually the last story I meant to talk about before we talk about comics. James Gunn is under the gun
again
because this is a real tweet. I'm about to put up another tweet. Congressman Robert Garcia has issued a statement today that if James Gunn doesn't initiate his DCU plan by February 1st, he's going to call him for a congressional hearing. This is a real tweet, and he is a real congressman. So yes, so the Snyder cult has invaded our government, basically.
I'm sure Tucker Carlson, Robert Garcia has better things to do than to fucking be tweeting about comic book movies.
Exactly. They will find a way to get pissed off about this.
The left agenda, they don't seem concerned with America's problems. They're more concerned with comic books.
Now, I haven't checked. What if he's a Republican? They jump on his side. Yeah. Possibly. I don't know. With all I know, James Gunn, you got 24 hours to respond. That's all I know.
Well, if he's a Republican, it'll be MSNBC.
Right, he'll jump on that. Yeah. Oh shit. I don't know. You better figure something out quick. But yeah, other than that, if you listen to this long, if you like, subscribe. Jake has booked out. I guess we'll say too much fucked up shit this night. So yeah. I don't know what it was that made him left, but whatever. He'll be back next week, hopefully.
Yeah, it must have been about Jenna Ortega, his bae.
Oh yeah. We got it. We'll make it up to him next week. Yeah, and I don't know what's gonna happen next week. Oh, well, next week we'll be in Black History Month, so I guess I got to do some Black History stuff, something. I was supposed to have already prepared, and I have nothing right now. Cliff, give me an idea. I don't know.
Educate, man. It's time to educate the masses.
I know, man. I guess I'm supposed to. Is that why you want me to do a Kane one-on-one? You know, Black History Month. You know,
I guess. Reclaiming Kang.
Yeah, right. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.
Love is just a history that they may prove, and when you're gone, I'll tell them my religion's you. When punctures come to kill the king upon his throne, I'm ready for their stones. I'll dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands above my head, head, head. Like Jesus said, I'm gonna dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands above my head. Dance together, forgive him before he's dead, because I won't cry for you. I won't crucify the things you do. I won't cry for you. See, when you're gone, I'll still be bloody Mary. We are not just art for Michelangelo to carve. He can't rewrite the aggro of my fury heart. I'll wait on mountaintops in Paris, going to